We now know that 11 U.S. citizens have been confirmed killed. We know that there are some U.S. citizens that are hostages, at least 150 that are still alive, supposedly. That's trusting Hamas. We are taking action. We are not, of course, we have an office in Jerusalem, and we've had that office there for many years. But we are taking direct action. And
we notified the United Nations through a legal letter that set forth what laws have been violated on international law by Hamas. It's a hostile environment, the UN, but we have NGO status through our European Center for Law and Justice, and that gives us a voice. And listen, when you've got few voices speaking out for Israel, every voice counts. That up on the screen right now is that letter that we sent to the Secretary General of the United Nations. Today, a letter is being delivered, and it will be hand-delivered by our government affairs staff. And there's that letter right there, and that is going to Hakeem Jeffries. He is the minority leader of the House Democrats, and that is focusing on what's called the DSA, the Democratic Socialist Group inside the Democratic Party, who have said horrible things about Israel and are basically backing Hamas.
They are Democrats, but they are members of this Democratic Socialists of America, which puts these pro-Hamas statements out. It's Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, Rashida Talib, Cori Bush, Jamaal Bowman. They are all DSA members in, quote, good standing, and yet none of them have distanced themselves from the actions or beliefs of their DSA benefactors. So what we're being clear is that Hakeem Jeffries put out a very strong statement, like many Democrats have that are in support of Israel, that he needs to take action inside his own caucus and let them know either you need to dispel your membership with the DSA, condemn their comments, or potentially face a congressional response, which can be censure. There's a number of things at play here. We lay it all out in the letter. But so far, Dad, they have again tried to make this a morally, all of them, morally equivalent battle.
We are fortunate to have a good friend of ours, Senator Ted Cruz. And Senator, thank you for being with us on this tragic weekend and now ongoing conflict.
Israel is facing the greatest attack it has faced in over 50 years. On Saturday, the world witnessed the largest mass murder of Jews on any day since the Holocaust. What is happening in Israel is horrific. We have over 900 Israelis murdered. These Hamas terrorists, they're murdering women, they're murdering children, they're murdering infants. They are raping women and young girls indiscriminately. They are murdering the elderly. They are taking children, women, and men hostage. It is not only a grotesque act of war, they are committing war crimes and atrocities. And I have to say, it is infuriating because this entire assault was funded by money that was sent by the Biden administration, by the American government. Since Joe Biden became president, he has released to Iran roughly $50 billion, and that money has gone directly to funding Hamas. Hamas is controlled by Iran. This act of war was directed by Iran. This act of war was planned by Iran. And this act of war was funded by the billions of dollars that Joe Biden and this administration flooded into Iran.
The Biden administration, as you said, they've been all over the place. They've been deleting tweets back and forth. It's not a clear message yet of where they are. What are you going to do with your fellow members of Senate? I mean, there's a pretty good bipartisan support, it does appear, to support Israel. What can you all do together to get this administration to make sure that they do support Israel, or at least do everything you can, hope that they will?
Well, I'm going to be leading the fight in the Senate to have Republicans and Democrats stand together with Israel. I'll tell you, when Joe Biden sent $16 billion to Iran as ransom for hostages, the Democrats didn't stand up to Biden then. When the Biden administration sent hundreds of millions of dollars to Gaza after they concluded it was highly likely it would go to Hamas for terrorism, I led 17 senators opposing that. Not a single Democrat stood against it. So we need to stand now, say enough is enough, stop funding terrorists that hate Israel and that hate America.